Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if you're new here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Atypical. This is a show that I've talked about previously on my channel. I believe I discussed season 2. Not my favorite video. The idea was there, but the execution was just, I kind of missed it. Anyways, I really enjoyed season 3. I don't know if it was because I was just really emotional while I was watching it, but there were several points where I was just crying. So as I usually do when I discuss TV shows and movies, I'll just talk about things that I loved and things that I didn't love, and then yeah. So let's just start it off with things that I liked. So I think the first thing about this season that I loved was Paige's character development. I don't think she was ever anyone's favorite character after she tried to change Sam in season 1 and then was just annoying in season 2. But I loved how they took her from being the top dog in high school, whatever, and she turned into a college dropout. I feel like it's always typical for the outsider to have a hard time fitting in at their college, but she literally had everything together. She had friends. Did she have friends in high school? I think she had friends in high school. But yeah, was breezing through high school, went to the school of her dreams, and then it just sucked. And then even when she came back, she was still working her crappy job. So I liked how that humbled her and made her much of a less annoying character. And I especially loved her heart-to-heart with Kasey at the end, where they both were on the same page for once. And not ironic, Kasey wasn't being annoying and ironic for 1 minute, and I loved it. I just really loved her overall character development, and honestly she was one of my favorite parts of this season. So the next thing is just a specific scene that made me cry. It's not even a big deal. It's literally just a scene where Sam does his Socratic Seminar, and when he finally speaks, I don't know, I just felt so proud. And honestly, Socratic Seminars are really hard, and the way they showed it was just so accurate. How there's always the people that just overtake the conversation and keep interjecting even though you've got your credit already, and there's just never enough time for somebody else to make their statements or whatever. So him finally getting in his little 2 cents at the end made me cry, and I was just so happy and so proud. I feel I've been watching him grow. He felt really connected to the character. So the next thing is a plot point that, even though I disagree with it, they still executed it really well, and it was Kasey and Evan breaking up. Evan is too good for the show. He's just too good for any of the characters. He's way too good for Kasey. I've been saying that since last season, and I really hate what happened to him. I mean, of course there are other things that happened to him this season that were good, like the whole EMT thing, but he didn't deserve this, okay? Evan deserved better. And as much as I hate the fact that their breakup happened, it was still done really well, and all the emotions were there, and it was really engaging, and just the performances were so good and so real, just how Kasey couldn't even speak. And as usual, Evan was finishing her sentences and picking her thoughts, because he's just always been so good at that. And then when he was just sitting in his car outside and he was saying that he can't leave because then it'll be real, and then the dad comes in and has the heart-to-heart with him. It was just so nice seeing all the characters, especially the parents, how Doug went to talk with Evan and how Elsa went to console Kasey. I thought that was really nice, especially since, they're always butting heads for some reason. Also, this isn't a plot thing, but also more of a production thing, was in the episode following Kasey and Evan's breakup, when she was just in bed, and then it's the narration of Kasey talking about how everything reminds her of Evan and stuff, but that's paralleled with the visuals of Sam walking around and seeing everything that reminds him of Zahid. Was so, oh my gosh, I love that so much. I feel it really showed how sometimes losing a best friend, I really think that having those two things together displayed how losing a best friend is breaking up with your significant other, and I thought that was very well done. And the last thing that I loved was the closure between Kasey and Evan. Even though, once again, Evan's too good for everyone on the show, way too good for Kasey. I wish he just flicked her off at the restaurant or something, because how can you do that to my man Evan? He's been there for you all this time, and you're just gonna go cheat on him multiple times. Wait, because how many times did Kasey and Izzy kiss? Anyways, I did love the last scene in the restaurant, where of course the only person Kasey can go to for proper advice is Evan, because he's he's the best. That just proved more of his character being like such a good sport, such a good guy. But I thought that was cute and it provided the closure that we needed. Now onto the things that I did not love. Gretchen. I think when you're in the 3rd season of a show, right, and you have the show centered around a family, especially, it's not centered around a group of friends. It's not like a Gossip Girl setting or something where it's typical for there to be like characters coming in and out like revolving doors. But in a show that centers around a family and establishes the family bond, I think the 3rd season is too late to be just introducing characters, especially when they're just gone like that. And Gretchen was that. She was tacky, she was cliche, she was weird. And especially since the 3rd season was proving to be more mature than the past 2, I thought it was really out of place to put her in there and have the whole Gretchen Zahid storyline. I didn't like any of that, from the way they met up at the dumpster, to the way she acted at the dinner, to like the ending, obviously, where they're supposed to get eloped or whatever, which I just thought was so tacky. Like, at least I would have preferred the plot point being like, oh, Zahid and Gretchen are like moving somewhere together, we have to stop them. Not like they're getting married, we have to stop them. I just thought that was kind of cheesy and corny, but that's just my opinion. Gretchen was just, I didn't like her. Abby, however, was another character that was introduced, and I did like her because she served an actual purpose of bringing out the more creative and fun side of Sam. But like Gretchen, she wasn't even funny, you know? I also just didn't love Zahid this season, much because of the Gretchen thing. Also just because of like the way he was acting. I don't know, he's never been my favorite character. I feel like his main point in the show was like the comic relief, but I also feel like he never really meets that standard and it kind of just comes off as like, you know, like cheesy. He's supposed to be someone who's just like providing laughs. For him to just be the person that's like, oh, we're not friends anymore, and like suddenly get all serious. Like, it was weird to have someone who is supposed to be the funny one all of a sudden be the main source of drama. So like, it was hard to like grasp. Like, at first I thought he was just kidding because he's supposed to be the funny one, but then it's like, oh, they're really not friends anymore and he's really making the biggest deal out of this situation, which was just weird. The next thing that wasn't my favorite. You can hate me for it, because everyone's just been like, Kasey, sharing that one video of them dancing or whatever at the party. Ooh, yeah, we love Kasey. No, we don't, because Izzy's terrible. She is so annoying, and I'm mad that they kind of teased the idea. I don't know if this was just me, but I'm pretty sure there was a point last season where they wanted to misdirect us and think that there could have been something between Sam and Izzy, because I feel like they connected at some point. I remember there being a scene where like something about Edison.
I think I have everything. Edison. Should I bring Edison?
No, leave the turtle.
Tortoise.
Birds.
I need Edison. Maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't go.
Well, Sam.
Why don't you leave Edison here, where he's comfortable, but bring his container of food so that way if you miss him or you feel nervous, you can just smell it.
That's not a bad idea. Your name's Izzy?
Yeah.
So I think in hindsight, this scene wasn't supposed to be Izzy and Sam having like some sort of a connection, or at least it was supposed to be them having a connection, but not in like a romantic way, sort of like a older brother giving his approval kind of way, because like she actually had a good idea and he was like, oh yeah, I kind of like you, I like what's going on here. But of course I didn't see it that way because Team Evan, but like I like both meanings of the scene. So I wanted you to think that there could be like a potential love thing between like, you know, Kasey's brother and Kasey's best friend, but that didn't happen. We got Kasey, even though some of us wanted it, some of us didn't. I'm not even mad at her for kissing the other guy at the party, which of course was like the main. Honestly, she was kind of annoying all season. Like the dinner party when she was acting up, she kissed another boy at the party. She flipped, and this is what makes me mad, when she flipped on Kasey for her telling Sam about them, when like, if you were more understanding, like some people, Evan, you would understand and you should know how close Kasey and Sam are and how they know everything about each other's lives. And it's not like she straight up told him, you two kissed and he saw. So obviously they talked about it, and she's just like, I don't want my relationship broadcast to the world. Didn't know the world was just my older brother, but like, okay, I think Kasey should just focus on, eating, sleeping, and breathing track and getting into UCLA. But of course, that's not gonna happen because plot, so. Also, I didn't really care for the parents this season. I feel like their storyline has never been my favorite, but this season it just felt more redundant, which I guess is kind of realistic in what was happening. Like, do we separate? Do we stay together? Are we better together? Are we better apart? But it got annoying, and Doug's stutter. I just don't. What do you mean? I think I like, just get it out. Come on, Doug. Just say it. I know you're under a lot of stress. I know you have heart condition, but like, just say the word. It's not that hard. So that is it for everything that I liked and didn't like about the season. I thought it was a lot better than season 2. I thought it was much more mature, minus Gretchen. It definitely focused on themes like revolving around compromise that we saw with the parents and like fighting for the hard stuff, which of course we saw with Kasey. Really emotional for some reason. I don't know if it was me or the writing, but there were a lot of tears shed. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, if you agree or disagree or whatever what you thought, and I will see you in my next video.